is how you really build a good bow. You've got to have nutrition. If you don't have nutrition, you've got nothing. You got to have nutrition. The bow may not even get done today. I don't know.
Good.
Ready? Oh. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Really excited about this bow. All right, so we got our bow in the vise.
This is kind of just a starting point that I do. How much is your center shot off your riser?
Just for instance, I was shooting a bow last night and you notice your arrow raising up off your rest. Loosen up the set screw and then it tells you right here. All right, this is the new CBE Elevate.
Well, you don't have an arrow that's got this.
All right guys, finally got in my new Elite Rezult. It seemed like waited forever, but finally got it in. We're gonna unbox it today. We got several videos that we're gonna shoot, but right now we're just gonna unbox it, show you what we got. Really excited about this bow. Alright, so we're gonna go through an unboxing series here and then we're gonna build it. We're gonna show you how we put this bow together. We got several of the CBE accessories and the torque stabilizer, CBE X4 rest, CBE sights. We just put a new set of Winner's Choice strings on here. So we're going to put it all together and show y'all what we do to get ready for target archery. Alright, so we got our bow in the vise. We got the new CBE X4 arrow rest. First off, you just, like I said, it's real simple. You got 2 bolts right here. It's got 2 holes. Self-explanatory. Just get them started, put them in there. We got our master bow mechanic with us today. Kenny, he's the one that builds all our bows. He's going to be overseeing everything, making sure that that I ain't doing it right, or that I am doing it right. I mean,
trying to teach him a little something.
No, Kenny, he's taught me tons about target archery, and I absolutely am just in love with it. There's so much more to it than just getting out there shooting a bow. Literally it's like a piece of your body. You got to know this bow back and forth, up and down. There we go. That's it. Slides in there. Screw it tight. We're going to try it right in the middle first, see what that does. Go from there. That's the CBE X4.
Alright, we're going to set the center shot on the bow. This is kind of just a starting point that I do. A lot of people get all involved in the how much is your center shot off your riser. Right now it looks like it's sitting at about 3/4, 13/16. We're pretty close. I'll take it off of the vise. We'll get the final center shot. We'll get it walk back tuning outside, but this is a starting point. All right, center shot was off just a little bit, so we're gonna adjust this rest, and this rest is super easy to adjust.
Micro adjust.
Micro adjust. It's awesome. I like it. We're gonna bring it in probably about a 1/16 of an inch. This is another way that I do center shot too, just getting it square out of the bow is all I'm doing to start with.
Usually you're using your arrow off of your riser.
Off of my riser.
To show that it's straight down the middle.
Yes. I usually shoot getting knocking points is what we're doing right now, and I usually get them just in the center of the axles. Start it right there, and then we can shoot it, and when we get it's according to how comfortable it is. When Ben gets comfortable with the way it is, that's the way we'll lock her down. We got the arrow running through the top of the burger hole right now, and it looks good, so we're gonna go ahead and tie some knocking points in. The reason I tie knocking points, some people don't, but the reason I do is if you ever have a D-loop break, anything like that, you never have to worry about where your knocking point is. You can always go right back to it.
No, it don't pinch your knock.
It don't pinch your knock.
Your D-loop don't pinch your knock.
Yep.
Just for instance, I was shooting a bow last night, and it didn't have a tie in the D-loop, and my arrow kept falling off my rest whenever I got to full draw, because what it does, that the D-loop pinches the knock.
Yeah.
So anytime that you're ever pulling your bow back and you notice your arrow raising up off your rest, that's the reason. It's because it's pinching your knock, and it's causing pressure on that and pulling it up off the rest. Whenever you have these tied on the string like this, you lose all of that pressure on that knock, so whenever you pull back, it'll come straight back without the pressure on the knock. which allows you obviously to have a cleaner shot.
I had tied the top nocking point and I was ready to tie the bottom nocking point. And what I usually do is put just a little bit of play. You can see it right there. That's about a credit card width, maybe a little bit less of play, but whenever you come to full draw, it'll be right snug to that knock. That just keeps you from getting knock pinch and riding up off of your air.
Okay, also it's very important whenever you're putting tying these knots in here to make sure you're using the knocks that you're going to be using, because just like this is a G knock, and look how much slack you've got in there on that, and it'll definitely be totally different. So make sure whatever arrow you're using, you use that arrow whenever you're tying in your nocking points.
We're getting ready to put Ben's D-loop on, and I've already got it cut to size because I've built him several bows, so I know his D-loop size. I measured it and just melting the ends and mushrooming them. All right, here we go. D-loop, we're sticking this on, and this Ben is right-handed, so to tie in this D-loop, the top needs to come off of the left side, because whenever you come to full draw, you're gonna twist your release a little bit to the left. So you want the top to come off of the left, like that. Let's get her tied in. That's gonna be your main line of your D-loop coming off of the left side up top. Then when you come to the bottom, you want it to come to the right side. And that eliminates string torque, is what that does, because he's going to twist his release a little bit to the right. It's just natural, everybody does it. But if you was left-handed, you would do just the opposite. You would come off of the right up top and then come off of the left at the bottom. There we go, it looks like it looks good. All right, we're about to stick the peep side in. Like I say, I've built Ben several bows, so I know about where his peep should go in this 37-inch bow, 38-inch bow. He's going to be close to 6 inches. By far the most I've ever seen anybody be. But we will, we will make our final adjustment to this at probably 38, 37 yards, somewhere in that neighborhood, because that's going to be the average, the biggest average of his shooting. It's going to be in there. And I do it at 40 sometimes. Like for his elk bow or something like that, we're going to do it at 40 or 50 because you may want some longer shots.
Okay, like you said, we already knew real close to where my peep sight needed to be, but if you're setting up a peep sight, setting up a new bow build, you don't have any idea where it's going to be, what you'll do is go ahead and put your sights on the bow first, and then come to full draw. You're going to anchor, get everything set, and you can have somebody either with their finger or mark it or something to get you close, hold it on the string. As long as you're anchoring the same, like you're going to, you got your nose, you got the corner of your mouth, you're anchored, you're holding, then that'll give you a general starting point. Hold it there, then you're going to move your peep sight up or down, get that set. And what he was talking about on the getting it lined up out at 38, 40 yards, because that's where my average shots are going to be. So I want it to be perfectly centered in the housing at those distances, because what we was talking about earlier is if you kick your bow down to 100 yards or your sight's down to 100 yards, you're going to anchor totally different because your sight's going to be so much lower. But you want to go about your average shot distance to get you that perfect center for most of your shots.
All right, we've had questions right here what this little piece of material is in the string. All it is a piece of D-loop material, about, I would say, a ½ inch long with the ends burnt. We got it right in the center of the string, and what happens right here, if your peep gets twisted a little bit out of whack, you can slide this up or down the string and twist your peep back in alignment.
All right, this is the new CBE Elevate. Really slick, got the carbon fiber bar, micro adjust sights. It's got the quick slide up and down. Comes with your metal sight tapes, extra fibers. This is a .19 that was in the scope here. A little bit more customizable.
We can adjust it if we need to later. There it is. Elevate.
obviously you see the knots to slide it in and out. The farther you have it out, they say the more accurate it is, but it shows more movement. So if you've got it extended out farther, like this, obviously if you torque your bow, it's going to move your sights a lot more. But that'll also show you if you're holding truer. If you bring it on in, it won't show as much movement. They see a lot of movement. I guess they get anxiety or target panic, whatever. So sometimes people will bring it on in real close so they don't see all that movement. But if you can hold the bow pretty still and you like it, I like shooting it with, you know, about 2 dots showing is my preference. Just got the scope set on here, sights. We're fixing to check the peep height, make sure that's all that's good before he ties it in. It's a little bit low, it's going to have to come up just a touch. That's good, right?
But that's pretty close
right there. Yeah, that's pretty close. Because after about 30 shots, we'll know.
Alright, we're going to tie Ben's peep in. I've done it several different ways. And this way, I robbed from John Dudley. Little shameless plug there. He says, do it after you half hitch it that first time. Come over and keep half hitching 4 times. Wrap your peep, you come across like this. Wrap your string just like this 4 times. I done it the right way, I think. Should have. Yeah, I done it the right way. I get confused every once in a while. It'd be alright though. Alright, that's 4 times. And bring that tag end down. And just start going back over it. Like this. Alright. And then take this and pull the loose end. Pull it down tight. Peep ain't going nowhere. And do the bottom. Alright, that's 4 times. And we're going to get us four loops over it. And then wrap this back around it.
You're just basically wrapping it around itself.
Yep. And then pull the tag in through. It should come out right in the middle of your knot tie and your peep tie. Excuse me. And there you go. You cut that off and burn the ends. Let me see that right. There you go. And always roll your tag in up to the side like that, or on top to where your flame will not be close to your string. Cause that ain't a good day when the flame hits the string. 10-4. That's a good peep tie right there.
Alright, we just got done tying the peep in. We've got sights on, rest on, everything. So we're fixing to shoot the very first arrow through the paper. We're going to see what it does. As you can see, we're about 2.5, 3 feet from it. The very first shot ain't bad. Ain't bad at all. That's the first shot. We gotta adjust it just a touch. We've got a slight left hair.
Just a little bit.
Slight.
Kenny, that's a pretty good guessing, buddy.
One thing that we are excited about is the set technology on this. We went to the ASA. There was no other booth. There was no other booth that had paper tuning at their booth. So Elite was the only one, and that immediately stood out to me because everybody shoots different. Everybody torques different. Everybody grabs their bow, holds different, anchors different. So it's very, very difficult to get everybody's shot to paper tune, and that was one thing they wasn't scared of. They had the paper tune booth set up there, and that's all due to this set technology right here. Very, very easy. So we're not going to have to change really hardly anything sever these Allen screws. We can, because we've got our center shot, we've got everything shooting down the middle, and now we're gonna, it used to be yoke tuning, but now they have this set technology, so you'll loosen up that set screw, and then you're gonna, it has a description right here on the side of it, so it's tail left, tail right. It'll tell you what to do, very self-explanatory. We're gonna real quickly walk through it, get this thing shooting a bullet hole, which it's not gonna be hard because these bows are easy to tune, easy to set up. We'll show you how to do it here in just a second.
Alright, we're just sticking this V-bar bracket on the back. We're using, it's a Elite's got the 2 holes, and Ben likes all the rest of his bows. He shot them on the bottom. He likes it low like that, so that's where we're gonna start. You want me to put that angle up, Ben?
Nope. These new bars are amazing. I shot a different brand before, and I ain't gonna lie, I loved them and I was skeptical, but man, these torque bars, the new spider bars they came out with this year, they are phenomenal. They got the dampener on there, really good bar, really stiff. You ain't feeling all that hand shock vibration and stuff, but they hold phenomenal well, and they went with a micro diameter this year, so you're not getting all that wind drag. You're not, you know, whenever it's windy out, you ain't being blown across there. These are phenomenal bars. Really impressed with them.
He's got a Ben's got the double V's. He's shooting a 12-inch on the right side and a 15-inch on the left side. We got right here. He's running about, looks to me, I ain't sure Ben may know, but it looks to be about 12 ounces on the left and about 8 on the right. Is that about right,
Real close.
Ben, you think?
And I got 10 and a half on the front.
10 and a half on the front is what he's...
You're gonna have to play with it whenever you get, if you get a V-bar set up, you're gonna have to play with it with your weights because it's whatever feels comfortable with you. Anyways, you want it to be as stable as you can in your hand, but you want to be able to shoot it all day long without getting fatigued, and that's just gonna come from shooting. But the main thing with any stabilizers like this is plain and simple. You want to be able to hold the bow in the dot every time, consistently, make a good shot. Shot number 2.
Got a little left here.
So, toward to the left just a little bit. So we're gonna set technology. We're gonna show you how it works. So all we have to do is loosen up the set screw right up here, and then it tells you right here on the side, tail left. We don't have any height problems, so everything's good shooting down the middle. The only thing that we have to do is loosen up this screw, and then you're just gonna make probably a quarter of a turn on each side, top and bottom. And then we're gonna see what we need to do from there. Very easy to adjust this without changing anything else, because typically we'd start full with our rest, and that changes your center shot, and it makes it a lot more difficult. Whenever we're working with this set technology, it's rolling the limbs just a little bit to get that tear out of it, which is just, it's game changing. It really is. It's phenomenal. It's the result, you know? You see the results through the paper. We're fitting to show you right here what it does. Here we go. This should be it. Right here. Nope, right here.
Right there.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's a perfect bullet hole right there.
Yeah. That'll work.
Alright, so we finally got everything all set up on it. Sights on, stabilizers on there, D-loops tied in, peep sights in. We went over most everything. Hopefully we hit all the questions that y'all would have. I'm going to actually shoot my first tournament with it tomorrow, so we're going to go outside, get this thing set up, get it set in. Appreciate y'all watching. Y'all want to know anything else, have any more questions, make sure to leave comments, like, subscribe. We'll see you next time.